It's a rare occasion that a YouTuber will actually make a movie that I care about watching. In 2016, Ralphthemoviemaker uploaded a video to his YouTube channel promoting a feature film he'd be releasing soon called Lover. For people who don't know, Ralphthemoviemaker is a film critic on YouTube in the same vein of I Hate Everything and Your Movie Sucks. He even has a podcast with the two of them called Sardonicast. However, beyond this, he's also a movie maker. And years after his breakout film King Candy, which he shot the entirety of during his senior year of high school, the general reaction for his next film, which is double the length, is, I have a lot of respect for Ralph, but is the film good? Is the response from his fans warranted? I'll continue to copy Ralph by copying the content that I'm reviewing, which also happens to be Ralph's content. And I'll keep being an asshole about it. So let's talk about King Candy. It was made in 2015 and probably shot and edited during Ralph's junior and senior years of high school. And for a 40-minute film, written, directed, edited, and starring you, where one of the main characters is your untrained 8-year-old younger brother, and you have no idea what on God's earth you're doing, you got pretty good reception. It's got like a 7.1 on IMDb. Sure, by all means, it's an unpolished, sloppy, crazy little film, but it's got a really compelling narrative, a decent main actor. Give him a break, guys. Jesus. And again, I just want to reiterate, who the fuck makes a successful movie in high school? God knows not me and my 39 Clues fan films. I'm not really here to talk about this movie, but it's important what standard this set for Ralph's fan base and what Ralph would do as a movie maker. As a free-to-watch YouTube movie that had an engaging plot and had a character that really kind of fit Ralph's age and maturity level, Ralph chose a story he could tell with some decent understanding of how to make a film. But to an extent, the success of King Candy's kind of been hyperbolized by his fan base, to the point where some of them treated him as the Citizen Kane of YouTube movies because it wasn't this or this or this. So Ralph keeps making his movie reviews, and in about 2016 he releases a trailer for Lover. Everyone sees it, everyone digs it, and then Ralph doesn't really touch on it until 2018. But that's a little down the road in our chronology. Next up, he releases a short film that he made on a Bolex. This short, Brothers Paradise, was released last year, and people generally just didn't stick with it. It was pretty out there and experimental with its editing style. It was shot on film and then digitized. Again, it's not Smosh the movie. So again, the hyperbolized response to King Candy kind of came to bite Ralph in the ass. I saw comments around that time of people saying if your next film isn't good, you're never going to make it in Hollywood whatsoever. First of all, it's not the job of a 9-year-old YouTube commenter to say the things that producers will be saying to Ralph and plenty of other young independent filmmakers for decades to come. How self-righteous can you be that you think that a filmmaker who's in his sophomore year of college is never going to make it in the industry because of what he's making now? And Ralph's smart enough to know that. He's a smart boy. But nevertheless, it created a little bit of doubt in Ralph's fans that Lover was going to be something that was going to be worthwhile, especially after there were really no updates on it until 2018. But after the announcement of his cancellation of Ralph the Movie Maker as a series, to little to no fanfare, he released a very small video announcing that Lover would be released on Vimeo and on Blu-ray. The Vimeo link being a modest $5, I decided to purchase to see how I could support him. And here we are, making a YouTube video. Fuck. If you've seen any video essays on YouTube talking about the common flaws in short films made by students, they're pretty much here, but a lot less than you'd expect. Maybe I'm biased because I've seen a lot of student films made by a lot of student filmmakers and I've made a lot of the mistakes myself, but what I want to do right now is put up two clips side by side. One is from Ralph Sepe's Lover, and the other is from Dane Schubert's Love Bacardi Boston. Both were shot during the freshman years of people from the same college, and were even shot in the same dorm building. So you're telling me that a freshman in college did this and a freshman in college did this. So which is better? Because, you know, as someone who has experience of being an Emerson freshman once too, God, you don't know what you're doing, man. By this point in your college career, you haven't taken any production courses. None of your classes give you any access to any of the equipment provided by the college. And I'm not trying to nitpick and complain because I'm not. It's just how the progression of the college goes. As you get smarter, they give you the equipment that they trust you with. It's basic common sense, actually, and that's why freshmen aren't really given the direction to go towards making ambitious films like this. Love Bacardi Boston was made to be 32 minutes long, and yes, I am going to be making a future video about it because, oh my god, there's so much more to unpack. And Lover's 80 minutes long, Jesus Christ! I'm not trying to make this about me, but when I was a freshman at this college, I tried to make a short series called Emerson Horror Story, and that landed in a trash fire. As amateur as both of these projects are, it's a miracle that anyone was able to make something in that time at all. That leads me to another critique that I've heard about this movie, that by charging $5 for it, you automatically deem it worthy of common criticism that you have towards regular movies. By Ralph's own logic, when he made a video about Space Cop, which Red Letter Media charged $17 for, if you charge for a movie, you should base it by general standards of filmmaking. So here's where my hot take comes in. As a student filmmaker, God knows I do not want to judge this as a regular movie. This movie that looks like it was shot based off of what we saw in the trailer, generally in his freshman to sophomore year of college, that was charged $5, which is generally about 3 times less than a general movie ticket these days, should be judged on the same tier as a film made by a group of fully grown men who charge the price of an IMAX ticket. On the basis of whether Ralph should have charged for this film or not, I think it's fine that he did. He didn't charge any absurd price for an 80-minute film he spent 4 years making by himself. If it was a 30-minute short made by, I don't know, Sugar Pine 7, yeah, it would be absurd to charge. I even think that the $25 Blu-ray with the special features and everything is a little bit out there. But by that point, if you're paying that much money, that's on you. At that point, you can't even blame him for that. He put it out there, you took it in.
B-movie. It was a great anime, so I give B-movie an 11 out of 10.
It's YouTube. Of course you can tear this movie to pieces. God knows some people already are. It seems like a lot of people have kept the respect that they have for Ralph. I saw a really good review on Letterboxd by one Karsten Runquist that basically summed up my same thoughts of the film. But as far as positives go, I thought there were some really fantastic shots in this movie, but there was one scene where a car was following another, and I thought to myself, if Ralph cuts to this shot, I will applaud and stand up in my living room. And I did just that. Because the motherfucker cuts to this awesome shot that he could only have gotten if he really tried. I thought that Ralph's performance more often than not was far and above what I'd seen from his other shorts. As a complete isolationist, the character Howard came across as really compelling and as an honest human being. The lead actress is okay, she doesn't really have much to do other than be there for Howard and then not be there for Howard. There's this whole drug subplot that felt like it was very drive and I didn't need it, but it does build to a shootout scene that's pretty awesome. A lot of first-time filmmakers don't really write that much dialogue for their characters because they're worried they'll make them sound inauthentic. I feel like that probably happened in this movie because a lot of the scenes are underwritten, but there's some also really well-written scenes as well. I'm just gonna call her Lover Lady. Lover Lady is calling up Howard, and apologizing for the harm that she's caused him, and it's a really well-written and simple scene. But I also want to say that my internet is shit here, so it took me 3 hours to watch this 80-minute movie because it wouldn't keep rendering. Jesus Christ. So overall, does it answer the question, can YouTubers make good movies? Yeah, I think they can. Granted, it's different from a movie like Smosh the Movie because Ralph is changing his moniker from Ralphthemoviemaker to his actual name for this film. So in that sense, he's trying to create 2 identities online for himself, one that presents himself as a filmmaker and one that presents himself as a comedic film critic. But all in all, if this is the direction he's headed, I'm excited to see what he's going to do next. If you want to check out the videos that him and I made that were a part of a series that I made called Emersonian of the Day, those links are in the description as well. I will see you all next time. Goodbye, guys.